I'm Steve Beauchesne from Beau's All Natural Brewing Company, and I'm here with Guy Laflamme, who's the Executive Director, is that the right title?
Yep.
For Ottawa 2017. And we thought we'd take a little bit of time to get you excited about all the cool stuff and remind me all the things that I'm going to be excited about for the upcoming year.
And how much work we're going to cause you guys.
So we're talking about Ottawa 2017. And why don't we start right at the most simple kind of, what the heck is Ottawa 2017, Guy?
It's quite a roller coaster ride, let's put it this way. At this point, as we're just a few days before the start of a full year of celebrations, so our role is to put in place the 150th anniversary of Confederation Party celebration for Ottawa. So we're a not-for-profit, independent organization funded by the city, the province, the federal government, private sector, and self-generated revenues. And we will be delivering, we counted last week, I think in the order of 120, 130 different events, different large-scale productions. So I'll probably end up with lots more of gray hair by the end of 17.
It's a year-long party, which we're always a fan of. But it also, the amount of community building that's going on over the course of this year, I think is going to be just so impressive. And I don't know if you feel this way, but my take of what Ottawa 2017 is in a very dramatic way, Ottawa kind of flexing some muscles and saying, look at us, we're a destination city. And I think we've been flying under the radar, building lots of capacity for cool events. And you know, our restaurant industry is amazing. We've got cool venues, but we're not necessarily on the radar yet. And I get the sense that 2017 is the year that changes.
To break lots of stereotypes and erroneous perception about what this city is all about. And that's why we've really cranked up the volume in terms of an audacious approach. In terms of wild, artistic concepts, because we want to break this mold, this concept that Ottawa is a traditional conservative city, and present a very hip, cool, modern, visionary perception that we want to develop about our city. It's going to be wild. I don't think people realize the scope of what we have developed and the degree by which we're coming up with some really innovative concepts. So from doing the crashed ice in the space between Parliament Hill and Chateau Laurier, you can imagine...
Okay, so Red Bull crashed ice.
You can imagine
March 3rd, is that the right date?
That's right. So the first weekend of March, free of charge. So you can imagine the challenge of having to convince Parks Canada, the National Capital Commission, Public Works, Parliamentary Precinct, the City of Ottawa, to be doing this crazy production on a World UNESCO Heritage Site.
Ottawa 2017 isn't a Canada Day party. It's a whole year thing.
Yeah.
I know some of the stuff that we're doing at Beau's, we're releasing a different collaborative beer each month. The first one coming out is with Fogo Island. So we've gone to the far eastern tip of Newfoundland, and we've created a beer with the Fogo Island Inn. I don't know if you know a whole lot about them, but for you out there, this is an island that basically was being wiped off at least the residents were being wiped off the land because all the fisheries were closing. And a very successful entrepreneur named Zita came and basically revitalized the entire island by doing artist residencies, revitalizing the fisheries, and creating this wonderful inn, which is just one of the most stunning places you'll ever visit.
Not only in the country, but in the world.
Yeah, so we were very privileged to make a beer with the inn there. And we'll be donating money back to the Shorefast Foundation, which is the foundation that basically runs all of the cooperatives that exist there. But I know we're only one small part of this. It's important to note that there's a million things that Ottawa already does really well every year, and all of those events are going to be stepping up their game. Jazz Fest is looking to do more. we put on a St. Patrick's Day party with the Irish Society, and we're going to be sort of stepping up the game because we know that this is the year that all eyes are on us. And I'm sure that the canal's going to be in overdrive this winter. I wanted to ask, I know you've already mentioned inclusion is a big part of this. Est-ce qu'il y a des choses particulièrement pour les francophones pour 2017?
Oui, alors pour nous, c'était essentiel de vraiment impliquer toutes les forces vives de la collectivité. Alors, du côté francophone, par exemple, on a mis à la disposition des groupes dans le domaine des arts, de la culture et du patrimoine un financement pour recevoir des propositions particulières dans ce domaine de création. Et on a plusieurs groupes francophones qui ont reçu du financement. Dans le cadre, pour des 14, on va avoir un total de 14 productions au cours de l'année. Pendant le Gala des prix Juno, on s'est assuré de laisser une place très importante aux talents francophones. Alors, il y aura tout un volet du Gala des prix Juno, des célébrations des prix Juno qui porteront sur des artistes francophones. L'ensemble de nos activités seront offertes dans les deux langues, bien entendu. Mais je vous dirais que dans l'ensemble, on constatera une très grande présence de l'esprit de la culture latine à travers ce que l'on produit. Un autre exemple, Rip Hopkins, qui viendra grâce à l'ambassade de la France et le Haut-Commissariat à la Grande-Bretagne, qui vont amener ce photographe qui est extrêmement connu, qui a une réputation incroyable en Europe et qui va réaliser 150 photos qui vont illustrer comment nos racines françaises et britanniques se traduisent, se reflètent dans notre vie quotidienne. Et il va faire cette production un peu dans l'esprit de Where's Waldo, Trouver Charlie, où il se retrouve quelque part là, à l'intérieur d'une des photos. Moi, j'ai vu certaines des photos et je pleurais tellement j'ai ri, tellement c'est créatif et novateur. Et ces photos-là seront exposées à la Galerie d'art à l'Hôtel de Ville d'Ottawa. Et puis ensuite, on va également faire un stand dans le cadre de Éclat 150 où on verra ces photos en format géant. Alors, les détails seront annoncés plus tard.
Oh, wow. Bien cool. So we're going to wrap up pretty soon, or at least start asking questions or going to questions soon. The other thing is that I'm always amazed at the volunteerism that Ottawa has. And I think it's a testament to being able to run an event frugally. And to your point, it means that the dollars that are going into this are going into community building, which is phenomenal. So we're going to switch to some questions. Ingrid wants to know, how will St. Patrick's be different from last year? And what's the date? Melissa, I forget the dates. March 11th. It's March 11th this year. It's going to be actually fairly similar to last year. We're going to still start with the parade. I may or may not wear my shamrock suit again. Our Quebec manager is actually the drummer in a band called the Peelers, who will be one of the very cool Celtic bands playing this year. And again, we're basically, now that we know that we've got a formula that works, we're going to kind of keep working with it with smaller tweaks. Oh, lots of excitement about the collaborations. Any others I can share? Yeah, I can share a little bit. For February, we're going to be working with Oshlag, which is sort of the sister company of Glutenberg, which is, if not the best, one of the best gluten-free breweries. I'll say it, they are the best gluten-free brewery that's out there. And they've got a sister company that is a distillery. So we're going to be making a collaboration beer with them in February. We've been talking to lots of diverse groups, some brewers, some groups like Fogo Island, which we just think feel like they offer an interesting part to Canada's history and Canada's culture. Guy, we could talk all day. This is two of my favorite topics, Ottawa and beer. But I'm getting the note here from Melissa that it's time to wrap things up. So thanks so much for getting me excited again, and I hope everybody watching is getting excited to gear up for 365 days of party and community building and social development.
And Steve, thank you for having me. And again, to the risk of repeating myself, kudos. You guys do it right on all fronts. So from corporate social responsibility to community involvement, quality products, marketing. And we're so proud to be partnering with you guys and to assisting in giving even more profile to Beau's. So again, thank you for this great alliance.
Fantastic.